Guys, welcome to the show. It's so nice to see so many of you here. We've got the air conditioning, as you can tell, on. That's just obviously health and safety reasons. We have to make sure that the air conditioning is at a certain standard, but it's going to be turned off in roughly 5 minutes. Anyone who's feeling a bit hot, there'll be air conditioning coming off pretty soon. So lovely to see so many wonderful new faces and old faces as well. Like I mentioned before, just so we understand what's going on. So Soul Fitness is something we're doing here at the JLE. It's been going, gosh, this will be the start of our sort of third year going into Soul Fitness. And for those who've kind of come to class in the past, we've got a few veterans here, will know that Soul Fitness, what we're trying to do is really develop and build ourselves in a spiritual way. I can say, physically speaking, we're all out there trying to build ourselves physically. People join gyms, people are very excited to get fit. Obviously, New Year, people are getting, when it comes to January 1st,
New Year,
everyone's always looking at New Year, New You. I've taken upon myself a personal trainer. I'm trying to go for UFC next year. Yeah, that's my ultimate Frummer club. And I've got my personal trainer somewhere. It's going to be coming at some point, hopefully, to make sure that I'm obviously in shape for that cage match against Habib. So but seriously, with so much of what we're doing is trying to get ourselves fit physically. Soul Fitness is all about getting ourselves fit spiritually. And by the way, there's nothing better than the New Year, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, to do that. Tonight's class is going to be a special class about the Shofar. Next week, we're going to talk a little about spiritual detoxing, what it means to detox, why Tshuva is about a detox. And finally, obviously, in Yom Kippur, we'll talk about how you can fall in love with Yom Kippur. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing in the 3 sessions. And like I said, it's really lovely to see so many of you. And obviously, welcome back to the Kabbalah. Can they come in? You can come in. Obviously, we had a wedding over the summer. And Emily is here. Welcome, Emily. Thank you for getting back. So here we go. Let's get a show on the road. Like I say, one of the rules, obviously, of Soul Fitness is, and Josh Fraser will tell you this, is that phones are away. So they're either on airplane mode or they're completely away. That's one of the most important rules of Soul Fitness. We're going to have a class for roughly 45 minutes. At the end of the class, we do a roughly 10-minute meditation. And meditation is breathing exercises. Not no, that's never done meditation before. It's freaky. We're going to do some just like really nice meditation, nice breathing, and of course, I'll kind of during meditation go over some of the topics that we discussed, talk about the things we're kind of going over again, and then you leave the room floating out on a special ether cloud as you make your way to Rosh Hashanah. Okay, here we go. Start off at 10. Shofar, right? You're at work, Josh Fraser, Naomi Burns, Tamara Kamornik. You're at work at the water cooler. Someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, hi, I realised you're Jewish. I saw you eating a smoked salmon Bible at lunch. Can you tell me, I know the Jews blow the shofar." Well, I just read it on Wikipedia. Okay, that you blow something called shofar on Rosh Hashanah. Can you tell me what's the significance of blowing the ram's horn on Rosh Hashanah?
I've been asked that.
Oh, you've been asked that? Fantastic.
I have.
And did you phone a friend? 50-50, which one is it?
I like your generic non-Jewish accent. That was nice.
It was a generic accent, full stop. But let's go. So who's got an answer for me? Who's got like a nice answer they would give to their non-Jewish friend? Come on, audience participation here. Everyone's will know it's start of term. Let's start of term.
That's why we're here.
Everyone's like kind of got their new shoes that really hurt.
That's why we're here.
I would probably say
they got a pencil case out. My kids went back to school. It's hilarious. Like every year we have to get a mortgage out again to get the pencil cases, folders. Like iPhones. I'm joking. Yes. Okay. We had someone. Oh, Rachel.
Yeah.
Sorry,
so I would say the whole idea of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is to try and think about the year that has just gone and all the things that have happened, and also plan for the year ahead. And we have this whole idea that it's the day of judgment, and the blowing of the shofar is symbolic of like waking you up and calling you to arms to try and call you to do your.
So it's like a wake up call.
It's like a wake up call. Obviously, there's other things you can say about the Keda and etc. But I think for a non-Jew, that's my baseline.
There is obviously that's a deep idea of the wake up call. What they do say that the shofar is meant to wake you up. Uru Mishena means get up means sleep. The shofar is your alarm. By the way, when I lived in Israel, and Richard told you this before, when I lived in Israel, I used to live next door to a Sephardi synagogue, and they would do selihot, which is the extra prayers they do in the morning. And at the end of selihot, they would blow the shofar. So quite literally, for an entire month, every year, I would have a shofar as my alarm clock. I loved it so much that I went out and bought like one of those like ringtones, which is shofar. And anyone actually hears my text, if it would go off, you hear like, yeah. So waking up, very nice. Anyone else who's got like, anyone here ever heard like something deeper about the shofar or what it means? Anyone? Yeah.
I heard of something to do with Mount Sinai, but I don't know if that's
okay. Mount Sinai. Yeah, I did that on Mount Sinai. The shofar was blown.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about how the fact that Emily Charles' wedding in the summer, and Emily Charles' wedding, which was of course at Silso, a shofar was blown at your chuppah, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of funny because one of the things that happened, I told you the story, no? We were like, we can do it, someone's off, I don't know if everyone, and after everyone was like, oh my gosh, like I want a shofar at my wedding. Like everyone's like queuing up for shofar. It was very, very beautiful to blow the shofar at the wedding. Yeah, anyone else come before we get into the meat and stuff of the class? Anybody else?
It's kind of like when you can't really, you have a lot of emotion but you can't express it. The shofar's like a cry. It's like something that you can't express in words. It's like a feeling of this.
Beautiful, exactly, 100% right. The idea is that like it's a primordial scream, something which you can't, when you hear the shofar blowing, like it's like you can express things, you can talk about things, but sometimes it gets to the point where you just need to go like a just get out there, just like I had to do it. It's been sitting there for too long, I had to do it. It's been a while. Okay, so these are all amazing ideas. Let's go deep tonight, and I'm going to share something with you which hopefully you'll feel free then to go out and share with your friends, share with your family. Tonight's class touches actually on some deep philosophical concepts about Judaism. We're going to shatter a few myths tonight, Giamma, if that's okay with you. Okay, so let's start off just doing a quick, basic, small meditation, just get ourselves in the mode. Then we're back at term, everyone sit up. Let's get in the moment. Okay. Your back straight against the chair, feet on the ground, hands in your lap. Just close your eyes. Okay, just feeling nice and relaxed. You put your hands on your lap, don't cross any limbs. Beautiful. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Hold for a few seconds, and then breathe out. Again, big deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And breathe out again. And feel your feet against the floor. Feel the touch of your feet against the floor. Feeling your body against the chair, your back against the chair. Feeling just warm, heavy and relaxed. Again, as you breathe in through your nose, just feel the air, the cold air as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just feel just a bit warmer. Beautiful. Again, breathing in, you feel the cold air. And as you breathe out, it's warmer. We've all had busy days, been busy weeks. A lot of us have busy summers, so we're here now, present, just in this moment, in this class, ready to learn something new, to be open to beautiful new ideas. Yeah, just take one big deep breath in. Okay, and back into the room. Beautiful. Okay. Adam, could you do me a favor, Adam Maloof, being my wonderful second in command here? Two things. Could you ask the secretary if she's got the sheets? And then when you come in, can you close that door for me? Beautiful. Okay, so where does the command to blow the shofar come from? How do we know we have to blow the shofar? Anybody know? No? Okay, right. It comes from the Torah. Okay, the Torah tells us that there has to be in the 7th month a day, and the day for Rosh Hashanah, interestingly enough, it does not call Rosh Hashanah in the Torah. We don't see anywhere in the Torah the word of this festival being called Rosh Hashanah. It has got a different name. The name is, anyone know? Okay, the name of the Torah for this day is Yom Teruah. Yom Teruah. Okay, that's the name it calls. Anyone know what the Torah sound is? What's the Torah sound? Okay, let's go through this together. Okay, so the tkiya sound is the long sound.
It's the second one.
So the tkiya is this, tkiya. That's what you call a tkiya. Okay, a shvarim trua, which we'll discuss in a second, is the broken sounds. And then the tkiya sound, at the end is the. So Tkiya, Shofar, Trua, Tkiya. Okay, that's the way it goes. That's the pattern we do. So the middle sound is what we call the Trua. The Trua is a sound from the middle. So we call the day Yom Trua. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to semi-stall because I've actually made source sheets for you, which you kind of need, and they're not here yet. So it's one of those kind of things where we're just like taking it easy a little bit because I need to kind of like start relating this to you, and you need to start seeing it inside. But hey, you know what? You've got to keep going with the show, Elliot, and that's what we're going to do. So what is a Trua? Here's the issue. We don't know what a Trua is. Shock, horror. The Torah tells us you have to have a day called Yom Trua. The Torah tells us you have to blow the shofar. It has to be a sound of a Trua. But we don't know what a Trua is because when they wrote the Torah down, they didn't have one of those functions that you get nowadays where you push the screen and it tells you the sound. Do you know what I mean by that? You got these little kids that have the books from Postman Pat, you know, and they got Mrs. Goggins and they got, you know, Father Ted, whoever is it? Not Father Ted, that's who's the vicar in Postman Pat?
I don't remember. It's a while ago.
Whatever his name is, but
They've got Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse
the cat.
Who can fit Jesse the cat? So they have all different people, right? And my kid used to have that Postman Pat book, and you'd open up and there'd be a picture of Postman Pat, and you push the Postman Pat thing, and it would, you know, come on, Jess. You push the button, and it'd say, come on, Jess. And there'd be Jess, and you push Jess, and you go, meow. And then, you know what I'm saying? So the Torah doesn't have a function where you can read the Torah and push the button on the Torah, and it'll tell you what it is. The Torah tells you you have to have a day where you do the Trua sound. But it doesn't actually tell you what a Trua sound is. Hence, we have a little controversy. We don't actually know what a Trua should be. The Torah deals with this by saying that we should have two different types of sounds. Okay, this is in the oral Torah. It describes it as a groaning sound, like a moaning sound. That could be what a Trua is. Or it could be a yelping sound. So help me out here, okay? What would, if you would think like, what would be like a sort of a kind of a sort of moany sound, a moany kind of sound? Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Adam, you want to start giving them out from there? Perfect. Okay. You guys got your sheets now, so we can get to it. We're on the second page. Thank you once again. Thank you to Adam Maloof. Okay, you share one between two. Okay, fine. Stop passing around. Okay, go to page 2. Lovely, yeah. Stop passing around. You can do it quite quickly, guys. You can do it much faster than that. One between two. Zoe Bernstein's hasn't got one. You go on to Zoe Bernstein, please. Thank you. Make sure Zoe's got one. Fantastic. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, so we're on the second page. I've already shown you on the first page, that's the Torah source, to tell you that the reason we know you play the shofar on Rosh Hashanah is because you have a Yom Teruah. Okay, that's what we know. Yeah, the problem is, what's the problem? The problem is we don't know what a Teruah sound is. No one has told us in the Torah what a Teruah sound is. So we need to know what a Teruah is.
Yeah.
Never was a Teruah word spoken. I've got a spare one here. Anyone wants a spare one? Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, Josh. Okay, fine. So we don't know what a Teruah sound is, and we are going to have to find out. So, if you look on the second page, down the page, it can either be whimpers, it can be yelps, we're not sure. So the way we deal with it, guys, is we cover all our bases. Have you ever wondered where the root is that we do all the different kind of sounds of the shofar? You know, like sat there thinking, I wonder why we know we do this. How do you know we do this? Da 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 da. Like, is there a music book we can buy somewhere? They're like, you know, the sounds of Rosh Hashanah, you know, by Mozart in E minor. So yeah. Does anyone ever wonder that?
No, I just wonder. I just know it's like nearly kiddish when the shofar goes.
Ooh, that's
sort
of true. I'm not sure when you come there, you know, in some shores, it's like... As a food signal, it's like Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah.
Kiddish. That's kind of the opposite. Okay, so I know you're getting excited for Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
At the end of Yom Kippur, you blow the shofar. That's a Pavlov's dog, right? Okay, that's the blow the shofar, and Yom Kippur, everyone's running for the Lord. So here's the story. We don't know exactly what it is. If it's a yelping sound, if it's a whelping sound, if it's a moaning sound, if it's a groaning sound. No one's really sure. Kiri, welcome back. Nice to have you here. No one's entirely sure what the sound is. So we cover our bases. We do two different things. A Teruah could be this. Okay, it's the end of the day. I haven't had a really busy. Just bear with me. If the note doesn't come out good, don't be judging me. Okay? No judgment going on here. Okay, ready? Here we go. It could be this. It could be this, which is in some communities do this. Sounds like a trombone. Okay, or it could be this. It's like when they guess that tune, name that tune. It could be this. Right? It could be that. That's a very yelpy sound. Right? Or it could be this. It could be this, which is what we call the Shofar Trua, which when people like really break down, they go like that. That's what this sound is. Ready? Right? Now, because we don't know which one of those it is, we cover all the bases. So we do some of them with the da da da. We do some of them with the trrr, and we do some of the da 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 trrr. So now you know, and you're unsure why we call these different tunes, because we don't know which one the trua is. Now, you might turn around to me and say, "That's really nice, Ramadan. Thank you for sharing that. That's interesting." But hold on a second, isn't there like another note as well that we do? Okay, there's another note we do before and after each one of those things. It's called a tekiah. Okay, even my kids like tekiah. Yeah, tekiah. Even when you're little kids. So tekiah, I don't know, you know what tekiah is. Tekiah is just a sound, but do. Straight, normal sound, no deviation, no change in tone, no change in anything. It's just a do. Okay, so where does that come from? That comes from the idea that you have to, the oral Torah teaches us that this trua sound has to have before and after a tekiah sound. That's all it is. You have to have a before and after, a straight sound before, a straight sound after, and in the middle you have this trua, whatever it is, whether it's whelping or yelping or moaning or whatever it is, that's in the middle, and either side of it you have a straight, still sound.
Had all these sounds been established by Mount Sinai? Or?
Yes, exactly. And they were handed down in the oral Torah. So if you take a look here, I've kind of made it easy. You can take these with you after as well. You can show them off to all your family and friends. And that's like in saucy. So again, tekiah, shvarim trua tekiah, tekiah shvarim tekiah, and tekiah trua tekiah. That is the basis of what you're going to hear on Rosh Hashanah. And I haven't got time now and to go into the complications and the sort of the sophistications of explaining why we do so many of them. We have to do 30 notes, and that ends up being 100 notes. Now's not the time. If you want to know more about that's Sangas, and we'll be in that class a bit later. But we end up, these are your main notes. So based on this, I want to teach you a really beautiful idea. I heard this when I was studying in yeshiva many years ago. I heard this for the first time. At the time I found it super powerful. And I think it really goes down to the root of what Rosh Hashanah is all about. What it means to come back to yourself every year on a Rosh Hashanah and really reconnect with who you are. And it's what soul fitness is all about as well. About coming back to being the understanding of the pure soul that you are and you can never change. Because here's an amazing idea. These words, Shovarim and Trua, are actually really interesting. Because take a look at source D. Shovarim. Now, I don't know how many of you guys read Hebrew. I don't know if you all do or some of you do. But the word Shovarim, if you look in source D, okay, Shovarim has got of its root the word Shevel. Shevel, and in modern Hebrew, you'd say Lishbor. Okay, now just pretend that you didn't read the last word on that line, so that I can just make it more like a teacher style. What does the word Lishbor mean? That's it. Rekha, exactly. It means, g'day mate, it means to break. So I think, Joel, you used to live in Hebrew in Israel, right? So when someone says, Ani yishbor lecha et harosh, what are they saying when they say, Ani yishbor lecha et harosh?
Break your head.
I'm going to break your head. Chas v'shalom, any of you should ever say that to anybody? You should rather say things, Ani yishbor et ha-matzav hara, because I will break this bad kind of thing that's going on. Lishbor means to break. Okay? So here we go. Even the word shvarim, which is everyone hear the word shvarim? When I say the word shvarim, you know, you've heard it before in shul, right? But they go, Tkiya, shvarim, trua. You've heard the word shvarim. Shvarim means to break, which is quite literally the sound you're hearing. Da, da, da. It's a breaky kind of sound. Here we go. Now, here's even more incredible. The word teruah also has its root in a similar vein. Take a look at source F. In Tehillim, we talk about smashing. We talk about smashing iPhones that come out in classes. Josh Fraser. And we talk about teruah, as in, look at source F here. Teroem b'shevet barzel kichli yotzer tenaptzem. Which means you can smash them with an iron mace, shatter them like potter's ware. The word teroem means to smash. It means teruah means to smash something. Okay? Hence the same idea. Teruah, smashed up pieces, smashed up smithereens, smashed up things into different places. There you go, right up. There you are, mate. Okay? So both the word shvar and both the word teruah imply smashed up, imply the word broken, imply the word in pieces, imply the word separation, imply the word a lack of completion and peace and harmony. So now we're going to ask a question. This is one of the biggies. It's one of the biggies, right? You go and speak to people and you have like, I guess, a philosophical, kind of conversation, if that still happens, I don't know, on the bus. No? Richard, have you ever had a philosophical discussion on the bus with anyone?
Definitely.
Certainly underground, yeah.
Underground, not overground, that's like a personal thing. You can't talk to people overground. I hear that. Are you a mole by any chance? So, someone will say to you, what essentially does the word ra mean? Ra means evil. We have understanding of ra is evil and bad, and tov means hello everyone, to this classroom.
Hello.
Tov means
Good.
there's tov and ra, good and bad. There's tov and there's ra. So what's tov and what's ra?
It's like you're blowing away the evil.
Wait 1 second, David. We're going to get them together. We're going on a journey. Let's not jump to the end. Let's appreciate the hike. Yeah. So okay, let's do a story. So we'll have to go on a tangent, don't like that. Tov and ra, good and bad. So what does that mean? What's tov and what's ra? So it's amazing. Within the word teruah, you have that word ra. Look, take a look at it. You can see in source E, I've highlighted it for you. Within the word teruah, you have the word ra, which means bad. So if we kind of connect all these things together, connect the dots, you see the word ra is linked to the word smash. The word ra is linked to the word broken. The word ra is linked to the word separate. You see, Judaism believes in a very deep way that all the purpose of the world, essentially, is to come back to a place of unity and completion and wholesomeness. The Kabbalah teaches a very, very, very powerful idea. Obviously, talking about some very deep concepts here. I'm going to kind of touch it in some superficial way, so forgive me for doing that. If you want to have more about this, we can learn it in a more deep sense, but I'm going to have to give it over. The Kabbalah teaches that at the beginning, when the Creator came to create the world, okay, the Creator took light, took the light of creation, and tried to contain it in vessels, in kelim, in vessels. So the Kabbalah teaches that the light was far too strong. The light was very strong and couldn't be contained in the vessels. It was so powerful that those vessels smashed. Okay, and those shards of the vessels came falling down to earth. Okay, and that's what we call shviras hakelim, which in other words means cracked kelim. Shvirat hakelim, cracked vessels, which means the world is full of these cracked vessels that contain the spark of light, and our job is what's called litaken, is to fix the world. Anytime we do a positive action, a mitzvah, an act of chesed, something good, you smile at a friend, you help somebody out, you give some charity, you shake a lulav, you bench, you say a brach, whatever it is, whatever mitzvah you're doing, you are taking a piece of light and sending it back to its source. When all the light in the world is being taken back to its source, that will be what we call the time of Mashiach, when complete peace and joy will come to the world and unity. So every act you do in the positive act is replacing that light. But right now we live in a world of cracked kelim, which is quite interesting. If you're any Irish people in the room? No? Irish? No? A friend of mine told me this is actually true, that he was playing some Jewish music to some Irish people, and they said, "Oh, that was a crack keli." which anyone who might know a little Irish will know. Crack in Ireland isn't that, drug, but, it's not that. Crack in Irish means?
Banter.
Does it? I thought it meant good times.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
Banter's good times?
Yeah.
Crack. Oh, it's very cracked out, sorry. You learn new words all the time. So they said to my friend, oh, that was crack Kaylee. So, and a Kaylee is in Russian and Irish. Adam knew for Kaylee is anyone know?
It's like
A dance, right? You have a crack Kaylee means you have a great dance. So a bit, obviously in a deeper sense, a cracked Kaylee is this thing that is smashing around the world. There's cracked Kayleys everywhere, guys. It's not just in Old Sullivan's down the road in Hendon. It's where I go on a Sunday afternoon, you know what I mean? go with the kids to have a good time, So basically the idea is that there's cracked Kaylee, right? So the shvira, the brokenness. So we live essentially, ostensibly, we live in a broken world. Now I want you to think about this deeply, guys. We're touching a very deep point here, and I don't even know some of you so very well, but we're going very deep, very quickly, very soon. So here we go. I would say that most of the pain, and most of the suffering, and most of the hurt in this world comes about because of feeling of separation. It comes about because of feeling of whether it's separation from your source in a spiritual level. You don't feel connected to your creator. You don't feel connected to the world around you. You don't feel connected to other people. You don't feel connected to your soulmate. You don't feel connected to a soulmate that you haven't met yet. You don't feel connected to the policies of your country, let's just say. Or you don't feel connected to your community. You don't feel connected to yourself. That could be probably the hardest one. You don't feel connected to yourself. Disconnect is probably the greatest source of discontent. You don't feel connected, and there's something wrong, and you don't know what it is, and you can't put your finger on it, you can't touch it, but you know it's because you don't feel connected. You feel separate, you feel alone, right? Let me ask you, what are some of the best moments you can put your finger, when you can look at some of the best moments in your life? The best times you've ever had? I've almost always been either with like a really good bunch of friends, you've like people you know so well that you're connected to, your mates with, you go back years, you've got a great history together, and you get together for whether it's for a birthday or for a night out, whatever it is, and you share with other people a moment. That's things you can. Like, I ask this question because I often give a class to people about trying to taste what spiritual pleasure is. It's kind of an interesting idea. What is a spiritual pleasure? Me and Jake talked about this last week. What is spiritual pleasure? I can understand physical pleasure, but what is spiritual pleasure? We can talk about it sort of in a very sort of theoretical sense of spiritual pleasure. But what actually is spiritual pleasure? So the understanding is, and I ask these people, I say, name me what was the best meal you had in the past 2 months? What's the best meal you had? And always people will say to me, it's that time I was with my family, I was with my friends, I was with someone or something. They won't ever say the food. They won't say it was that incredible chicken soup I had at that place. Or they never say it was that burger I had. It was never that, that shawarma. It wasn't the food, it's always the company that you had. It was the connection you felt with other people at that meal. That's what gives you that pleasure. Okay, that's not a physical thing. Company and friendship isn't a physical thing. So that gives you a kind of a link, an inkling as to what it is, what spiritual pleasure is. So coming back to what we said again, what are those moments where people feel lifted, where you feel conjoined, where you feel elevated? People talk about this like when you go to, I remember still when I was, how old was I? I was around 12 years old, and I went to my first big football match at Wembley Stadium. My dad took me to see England versus Poland at Wembley. And I'd never been to a massive stadium in my life before. I'd never been to Wembley. I was just after one of the World Cups, after Italia 90, and I'm dating myself here. It's just after Italia 90, none of it more. And And England got to the semi-finals, so everyone was on a high. And I never forget, my dad took me and we went together, and I was just blown away by this wall of noise of like everyone singing the national anthem together. And you almost like get lifted. I mean, you would guys, I'm sure you know what I mean when you go to a concert and suddenly everyone starts singing a song and everyone gets their lighter out. That doesn't have to be health and safety, you probably now feel lighters anymore. Is that, I don't know how it works. No? I don't know. But it used to be in the back of the day, everyone take out a lighter and you'd like...
Glow sticks.
Glow sticks now. Well, the Coldplay. Well, torch on the phone, is that what it is now?
Yeah, lights are up.
Okay, lights are up on the phone, there you go. So it's all changed now. And of course, last week now we have for the first time a vertical stage to make it easier for you to film. Everyone follow that news story?
No.
No?
No, what is it?
Samsung launched their new thing and they did a vertical stage with 3 stories. So the band were on 3 stories. It's easier to film on your phone 3 stories that way. So they made the band, that's a new shtick. So you can have your band, like the bass and the drums, singers and guitarists, whatever. It's on a 3-story thing. That's mad. Welcome to the world of 2019. Yeah. So, but again, so can I just vibe with the room? Has everyone here felt that before? You've gone to a concert and like everyone sings a song together and you're like lifted, or you've been to a football match and everyone starts singing a song together. Like, why does everyone like to stand on terraces and sing? Because you're lifted, because you feel elevated, because you feel connected to everyone around you. You're all like joined together in a moment of song. By the way, that's why I think a lot of people, we love going to synagogue oftentimes at this time of year, because there are tunes that we all know, we all remember, and everyone sings along, Avinu Malkeinu, whatever it is, and you get lifted because everyone's singing together in the synagogue. That's why, by the way, song is such an important element of our Jewish practice. Singing in shul is a big deal, right? It goes back from the time of the temple, and when you would go and bring a sacrifice, they would have a whole bank of Levites. People like Josh Stanton, for example, standing there and singing along while you brought, because there was the element of song, of being lifted by song. Coming back to this again. So Ra is separation. Ra is disconnect. And Tov is completion. Tov is connection. Tov is unity. Tov is oneness. This, my friends, is our life. This is our life. What do I mean by that? According to deeper Jewish understanding, we come down into this world, right? And we get plonked into this world, right? The soul gets taken and plonked into a body, and you get born and put into this world. Okay? And your soul is pure. Your soul is totally pure. And there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately, Baruch Hashem. Nothing you can do about that. Your soul is totally pure, it gets put into this world, and it gets set to sail. And now you're in a world where we're challenged from left, right, and center. There's all different reasons to feel disconnected. We've got challenges, whether they're financial challenges, whether they're social challenges, education, schooling, and all the different things that come along with it. And as we go through life, we start to feel more disconnected. We start to feel more, challenged to find that connection. And in a deep way, by the way, with ourselves, within ourselves. That relationship, which is more, I guess, important than any other, is the relationship we have with ourselves. How often do we think about that? I often give the Soul Fitness, if you remember, I think we've got a few people in the room of the veterans from the first Soul Fitness class, and I actually did like what do we call it, when you go to the fitness instructor on the first day and they sit and do a whole
induction
course. Well, they give it, it's a Q&A, it's like a questionnaire. Is there a word for it?
Q&A.
Just a Q&A. Yeah, that was the word, I was looking for that one. Yeah, Q&A. There's a Q&A. So you do a Q&A and they ask you things like, right, so, what, and by the way, these guys, they're always like, totally ripped, in Lycra. Someone's come with like a vacuum pack machine. They like to kind of get them in. They can't get out the clothes again, that's it, they're wrong. And you feel like really inadequate in front of them, I'm never gonna. So they say, what do you want to do? What would you want to achieve? Like weight loss or strength? And you write it all down. And okay, so when we did Soul Fitness the first time around, we talked about what we asked questions. So I said to things like, how important is your spiritual side? How much do you feel your spirituality is important to you? And people mostly said it's really important. And then I said, well, how much time do you dedicate to developing that, to thinking about it, to working on it? And almost ostensibly, most people write back saying never, or once in a blue moon, or here and there. So essentially, we are challenged in this world to find the connect with ourselves. Okay, to find that place where we feel that not just are we connected with our society and with our friends and with our soulmates, but in a deeper sense, when you feel connected to your creator. There's no greater joy. I remember once standing in the kotel with my good friend Ollie here. Do you remember we were there once and filling the kotel and we were both jumping around? And I said to you, this is what it feels like when everything is flowing beautifully. There's just a beautiful flow. You're in your flow, and it's because you feel purpose, you feel meaning, you feel like you know what you're meant to be doing. You feel like you're touching on your essence in those moments. I think I'm seeing a lot of nods in the room. People understand that they've had those moments in their life where they feel that way. And then you go back to work and you go back to, J-Swipe and all these different things that kind of just make life complicated. I'm not dissing J-Swipe, I think, I'm not dissing anything. I think it's important to, but I'm just saying it's the challenge, it's the struggle, it's the hardship, it's the ups and downs of life. So here we go. And at the end, after 120 years, your soul then goes back again. So you were created, it goes back. So you hear it, you come down pure, you have a whole life where you got to fight through and make it, and then at the end, your soul goes back again to its creator. And this is Tekiah, Shvarim Trua, Tekiah. This is what's happening in our lives, right? The Tekiah is that still, strong, simple sound. That's your pure soul coming into the world. The Shvarim, the Trua, these sounds are the struggle of life. The struggle to keep on the spiritual straight and narrow. And the Tekiah at the end is how we go back, which is again, pure, simple. In fact, if you take a look here, I've given you, if you look on page 3, right? I think you'll recognize some of the pictures here, right? On 3, we say this prayer every morning. I know you're very excited. Okay, calm down. It's only a Lion King. We have here a tefillah, a prayer we say in the mornings. It's one of the most powerful tefillahs we can say. Elokai, neshama shnatata bi tahara hi. My Lord, the soul you place inside of me is pure. You created it, you fashioned it, you blew it into me. By that's a whole separate class about the shofar blowing. Hashem blew the soul of life into us, like the shofar, right? You blew it into me, and you keep it inside me, and you will one day take it from me and return it in future times. So we're seeing the same pattern. My soul is pure, you blew it into me, and you keep it inside me during this time that I'm in this world. And one day you'll take it back from me again. Right? But it's pure at the beginning or pure at the end. But I've got time now. I've got to go into this world and I've got to fix it. I've got to litaken et ha'olam. I've got to fix the world. All those shviras, all those broken bits, all those shards, all those little messy things all over. I've got to go around. I've got to try and fix that world. I'm in a world of shvarim trua. I'm in a world of brokenness and separation, and I have to do what I can to bring us back to the world of harmony and perfection. How do we do that? Well, as Jews, we're very lucky. We've got something called the Torah. We're very lucky. We've got a technology called Torah, called mitzvot, and that's our way of actually going about fixing the world. We're very lucky. We have a menu. We have a program. It's it's our software, so to speak. We have the hardware. Our software is Torah and mitzvot. And then we go to the world and we try and leave it in a more wholesome, holy, special place and a perfect place. And then the time comes when we go out the world again. Do you guys hear this? Tekiah, you getting it? You understand? Tekiah, Shvarim, Trua, world broken, and then Tekiah again. And I want to say that I've shown you here the Lion King. Especially when we went to France this summer with the kids, and so we decided on the way back that we're going to rinse it. We're going to try and drive from Strasbourg back to Calais in one shot, which was like a 6-hour thing. So we kind of I ran to one of these French hypermarché and started trying to buy DVDs, But the problem is you get one which is you think it's in English, but it's actually in French. So instead of getting Bob the Builder, you get Bob le Builder. Hello, digger, on va faire le digging. Merci. I don't understand what's going on, okay? It's in French. It's something ambiguous with the teeth. It has Lego the movie, all these things in French. So anyway, so I saw a really good film that the kids haven't seen. It's called Le Roi Lion. Any guess what that means? Anyone?
The Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King. Le Roi Lion. And luckily, at the menu at the beginning, it had English. So it pushes the English. And it becomes Lion King. Not Le Roi Lion. It becomes Lion King. And yes, don't judge me, but I never actually saw the Lion King. I've never seen it before.
No.
I've never seen it, and it was really amazing. I've never done it. I've never driven at 100 miles an hour on a motorway and watched the whole film. So absolutely incredible. Amazing. I've never done it before. No, it's amazing. No, I had never seen the whole thing, but I've seen bits and bobs here and there. I've seen scenes. I know all the songs, and I just never got around to it in Loredana. Don't judge me. But I never got around to it. But anyway, so the kids were watching, like it's really hard. We don't have a TV at home, so like they kind of like have these holidays where they get to watch and then they get home. Can we not do no shut up? Yes, there's a holiday. No, you can't. It's withdrawal symptoms. It's like, don't even go there. It's like it's actually really problematic. They saw this really funny film called Despicable Me. That was hilarious. I was laughing my head off. That. Brilliant. The French word for Despicable Me is brilliant because what is it? Well, how they say something Despicable Me in French? Méchant, mi-moi, something like that.
Yes.
Méchant.
Moins méchant.
Moins méchant. Never see. Yeah. I got that panic attack at one point because we were halfway through the journey. I looked and I said, Moins méchant. I was like, oh gosh, another one in like English, like Minions in French. That's going to be really hard. But luckily, Baruch Hashem, it was in English and they had a good laugh at that. Anyway, so they got to see The Lion King and this is something my good friend Reb Shmuel Himki once told me. And he said that every Disney film sort of has the same theme. And I think it's probably true, which is this theme. It's called Tkiya, Shvaim Trua Tkiya. That's basically every film, every Disney film, and most films probably you ever watch, is Tkiya, Shvaim Trua Tkiya. What does that mean? So The Lion King is a great example. Let's use it as a paradigm, okay? It starts with Tkiya, with pure, simple, happy oneness. Can you feel the love? No, that's the middle of it.
Circle of life. They're very nice.
Yeah. So it starts off with the hold up the baboon holds up Simba and wow this kind of and the whole Pride what's it called Pride Park. But that's who plays Pride Park? Who plays it? Which football team plays at
Derby. That's Derby. Pride Rock.
What's that Pride Rock? It's all everyone's like really besimcha, everyone's happy, and everyone's got their place, everyone's got their strata in society, everyone is happy, right? And it's perfect. If I'm not mistaken, they've just now made a Lion King remake, right? With all the animals. So everyone. So now, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, so when you watch it now, people say, "Hey guys, this is Kia Shvaim Trua Kia." They'll be like, "Weirdo." Okay, so again. Starts off with Pride Rock, everything's perfect, everything's good, everyone knows what they're doing, everyone's happy, everyone's simple, right? Then, Scar comes in the picture with Jeremy Irons with his great English accent. Okay, so you've got Scar comes in and ruins everything, and Mufasa dies, and Simba thinks it's him, and he runs away, and he's really not very happy. He's pretending to be happy with the what's it called, Pumbaa and Thingy Bob. Yeah, they think they're happy, but they're not really happy. It's like Hakuna Matata, everything's chill, but it's not really chill because there's responsibilities. You gotta you live up to your responsibilities, and he's not living up to responsibilities, and he's like running away from responsibilities. He's out there chilling with Pumbaa and Timber, and then the lioness, what's her name again? Nala. She comes to tell him, come home, and he's like, no, get locked. Right, it's a whole thing, right? In the end, what comes in the end? What happens in the end? Redemption, right? Exactly. In other words, they come back to Pride Rock. He fights Scar. Scar runs away or dies. Dies. I was driving, guys. Give me a break. I was like 130 on a French motorway.
There's a Lion King too.
Yeah, no, don't ruin it. Some people maybe never saw that. Okay, so he what you call it, and the end is that last picture. All the animals come back again. The grass starts growing again. The trees start growing again, and everyone is back. Now I challenge you. I think almost every now I'm going to tell you straight. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a maven on Disney films. Okay, but I've seen one or two, right? But I've got a feeling that almost every single one of them follows the same theme. It starts with everything's good. Everyone's happy. Everyone knows their place. Everything's fine. Something happens, someone makes a mistake or whatever, and everything gets ruined. Right? Little Mermaid sells her voice. What is Little Mermaid? I never saw it. Little Mermaid does what she sells something, right?
She sells voice so she can have legs.
That's it, right? And then in the end, everything's okay again, right? I mean, one after the other, whatever film it is, it's the same theme always. Everything's fine. Everything gets messed up and broken into smithereens, and then everything is fine again at the end. This is basically the world of Tkiya, Shvaim Trua, and Tkiya at the end. So this is the kind of deeper idea I want to share with you. Yeah, I've given you the end. This is from the Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev. He says here, Tkiya, Shvaim. Tkiya is a word linked to the word love. Nitka means to be stuck, to be intertwined. So Nitkah means loved. This is because at first Hashem comes to us with love, since Bnei Yisrael serve Him with truth and love. And when they do this, they break down the Yetzer Hara, they shverim, they break down the Yetzer Hara. And once you've broken down the Yetzer Hara, then the love is even stronger. So it's almost like you have the love, and then because of the love, you can break down all the things that are in your way, and then the love becomes stronger at the end. So this, my friends, is this really super deep message behind Rosh Hashanah, behind the Shofar. It's the message that we are here on this planet to do an exceptional job that only you can do. By the way, you were created and you were born in this world for a job that only you can do. No one else can do that job. I mean, this is a very, very serious thing. It's not like that's so kitschy and sweet and nice, but it's an understanding. Your soul is programmed a certain way, and you were put in this world to do something unique. That might just be to help someone in Tesco's one day, to get to the, some old lady can't reach she can't reach the tomato ketchup. And you will do that for her. Maybe that's what you were brought in this world to do. Maybe. That's not something to be laughed at. It could be that's like your essence, right?
It's calling.
It could be your calling. Yeah. So I suggest you go to Tesco's every day now for the next year and see if ladies that need Tesco's ketchup. But the idea is we have to go into a world of shvira. We have to go to a world of brokenness and find ways to fix it, and we will come back to perfection. And in your own that's macro, in a micro world, in your own soul, this time of year is about going into yourself and asking ways which you can start fixing up those areas of disconnect, those areas where you don't feel connected, those stumbling blocks, those places where you feel you can't move forward, and start kind of bringing them all together and bringing them back home again. That's what the sound of the shofar is. When you hear the tekiah, think of the straight, thin sounds. Think of connection. When you hear a broken shofar and trua, you think of where can I bring more unity into my broken world? And then, as you hear the last tekiah, you can go back into that place of saying, "I've done it. I'm pure. I'm holy. I'm going back to being pure and holy again." Okay, this is a very beautiful, different power. You hear it's a different idea. I don't think people probably hear this very often, but I think it's so amazing, And this is, we have to be able to listen through the sound of the shofar. You have to be able to have the power to listen through and hear things within the sound of the shofar that maybe people don't hear. Had a beautiful story. Ollie, you'll like this one. Had a beautiful story about a guy who was in Israel, and he went to do a Morse code. He was a Morse code, operator. Those who are watching the spy, right? Morse code operator. And he needed to get a job. And he saw an advert in the newspaper in Israel for a job to be a Morse code operator. And so he went, and when he went to the room, he saw in the waiting room, there were loads of people sitting down in the waiting room, and he went to the lady in the front and said, "I'm here for the job application." She said, "Thank you very much, take a seat." He said, "What? I should just take a seat? Thank you very much." So he's sitting there with like 15 other people sitting waiting. And in the meantime, there's some music playing in the background, and they're just hanging out waiting, and the music's playing. And they're sitting waiting, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes go, until finally, 15 minutes later, the guy just stands up, walks in, goes into the desk, sits down in front of the guy, and shakes the guy's hand. The guy shakes his hand and says, "You got the job." So what happened? So what was happening was, when the music was playing, in the back of the Morse code, of the music, there was a Morse code message saying, "Stand up and just walk in and come and meet me, I'm in the office." That was the Morse code sound that was behind the music. So he heard that, got up and walked in, and came and sat down. So that's the idea, is you can see the shofar as like a Morse code. It's a message. It's coming telling you, come home, you're pure. If there's areas of disconnect in the world, you can always come back. The door is always open. You have to work out ways to find the handle, twist it, open the door, and take the step. So that is the message. Let's. I think we'll do like sort of a 6-minute meditation on this. And is that cool, everyone? Like a nice 6-minute meditation.
Yeah.
Get us a nice place. So I suggest you get yourselves a nice